What's up, everybody? How about some clapping? So I hope you brought some food to the stream, because I did. I'm just now finishing up some of my breakfast, so let's hang out and eat for a moment. That was a really full cup of coffee, but I will take care of that. How is everyone doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I stayed up way too late. One, watching Joel Telling try to find a USB stick. And two, working on next week's video. And then I got up early and started working on it again. And I worked on it right until I had to start this stream. Got up, got a cup of coffee, a couple things to eat, and now I'm here with you. Well, this is better than what I usually have for breakfast, which is nothing. So, well, coffee, I guess, if you count that. I didn't even think about that, Tom. That's true. We did have a video come out today. What video came out today? Something about that panicate board and bed leveling, right? So let's talk about that for a second. And I apologize. We will get to the BIQU B1. It is kind of a, you know, we're churning our way through the Ender 3-like printers. We will get to that. That's what this stream is all about. We've been cranking through content, so there's a lot of little topics that people ask about, and it's just easier to make a video. So I've been doing 2 a week, so I've been really busy. We do the usual Wednesday video. I hope I don't sneeze. Sorry if I do. We've been doing the usual Wednesday video, which is the main topic that we usually do. And then I've been releasing some on Saturday mornings, because those are really specific videos. They might help people out, but you know, probably not all that entertaining to a mass audience. So that's what we've been doing, and I say we because now I have an assistant, so I am capable of cranking out more content. My wife was displaced due to COVID-19, so she has taken over a lot of the other stuff. So thumbnails, emails, some of the comment work, talking to companies and all this and that, so I can focus a little bit more on creating content. So I've been able to do more streams, sleep less, and put out more videos. So that's what's going on in my world. It's been very busy the last 6 weeks or so. Hopefully it'll calm down a little bit. Yes, Guster, vice president at this moment, since there's only 2, but she's doing a really good job, and this is not her forte. She's a baker by trade, so she has really stepped up and learned a lot of things to be able to come into the YouTube world. So that's much appreciated. Okay, so let's not finish breakfast at this moment. A few things are messed up this morning. The camera is going to be different for the printing shot, so I still have to set that up, because I'm using the other camera for a time lapse on the other side of the room that you'll see sometime. But the overhead and all that stuff should be the same. We'll get it unboxed, we'll do our thing, and we'll just see how it goes. So, this is the BIQU B1. It is an i3 extrusion type 3D printer. Like a whole lot of the other 3D printers that you see in the market today. Is it any better than the Ender 3, the Ender 3 V2, the Ender 3 Pro, the SC10, SC10 Shark? So many that I can't even name them all. Thank you very much, R600, for this subscription. I don't know if it's better, but we're going to find out. There are a whole lot of awesome people in chat. Amanda, Dave Randolph, yes, Dave, you still get to talk to me. Yes, I don't make her fill in on my Twitter. So just so you know that. Gustner and Mike never let the machines win. Sax is here. Tom, 3D Print Viking. Mike Pearson, Tom, 3D Printing Llama. Jerry, 3D Printing and Painting. Matt, Jake from State Farm. A whole bunch of people. John is here from South Africa, which always amazes me that people are from other places because I'm from America and never go anywhere. So let's get into this thing and see what's going on. I hope everyone else is doing well. You're staying busy, doing things. We have a duck. So that's really the only important part of this build. We have now achieved another duck for the collection, and it now says Big Tree Tech on it. You probably can't, you can barely see that, but it is now officially a Big Tree Tech duck. So you can ride right, oh, and it squeaks. I don't think my other ones squeak. Nice. Okay, so you can ride right there, little fella. Okay, we got some sample, we got some rough directions, a BIQU thumb drive, and this is called the data bag. A thumb drive and an SD card converter. There's a piece of metal in there. It is very, very pink. It's extremely pink. So we got X carriage parts. We do have some extrusion. They don't make you peel the plastic off. That's cool. We got tops, bottoms, X, left, right, forward, backward. We have a standard 4-start 8mm lead screw, a piece of covering for that lead screw that's good to hit your friends with. And let's see what's on. Oh, we have a removable steel sheet. I actually have another one of these somewhere that I've never tried. I should try that someday. It's a very thin sheet. Now, the sheet that I have that they sent me before was not this thin, I don't believe. We'll check that out later. We got motor cables. We got miscellaneous hardware, couplers, things like that, cutters, USB cable, spool holder, power wires, good stuff. All things that you should require for your 3D printer kit. We do have a filament runout sensor, but we still have, oh, it's metal though. We do still have the one-arm bandit extruder model here, as I like to call it. I just made that up. I don't know if I call it that. But the metal pieces are, metal rather than injected molded. So that's at least good to see. These are BIQU branded steppers, so I have no idea who actually made them. See what else. Y motor, maybe? We'll find out. No, the Y is on here. So maybe that's the X. Oh, that's probably the Z, actually. Anyway. That's to figure out at a later time. That's future Chris's problem. Are those lights, perhaps? No, it's just a fan duct. It's a very elaborate fan duct. So you got 2 fans on the outsides, and then they've created this duct to go to the center. That's the first time I've ever seen that. So yeah. Huh. The hot end is like a solid block. It's about, you can't see in there. It's about, I don't know, 30 millimeters wide, 30 by 15. It's a little different. It has a little different kind of throat on it as well. That's pretty unique. All right. And then everything else. Bill Steele is here. What's up, Bill? Okay, I don't think there's probably anything else in here. No more ducks, so we can get the box out of the way. After service card. The BIQU has TMC drivers. I believe this has 2208, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see how the directions are. Put together printer, then print things. Done. There are 22 steps. You know my limit is around 9 or 10. So, yeah. Let's just walk through it, shall we? After we have a little bit more coffee. That's so metal. Hello, Travis Stamper. John Strand is here. Brett W. Brody. 2325. Big Tree Tech was using like a, I want to say it was like a 2555, and then they had like a 2556 or something like that. I think that was the number. I've never really seen the data sheet from Trinamic on those drivers, so I don't know anything about them. But that was quite a while back, I believe, that they were doing stuff like that. Not sure. So it tells me to plug in the bed first. Then we are going to some 2040 with a couple of holes in it. Which it's listed as 2040, but I believe they're referring to 2020. So probably ought to patch that. Not trying to be critical. I'm just saying. It does say 2040. But I would guess that's the top bar, right? What's this thing actually look like? Oh, there's 20. It is. They got 2040, but they're on the side. That's what they're trying to tell me. Gotcha. Gotcha. I thought I knew how that was supposed to go together. Are they equal on both pieces? Yes, they are. Overthinking it. So they have one hole on each. You can probably hear my MMU over there cranking away. Alright, so this extremely pink bracket, and we're going to need some hardware of some kind. Hot pink filament for the win. Jester's 3D Tabletop Gaming. Hello. $516 is what they want. That's these. Oh, they label the steps that you use them on the bag. Not bad. That could help. We'll just build right on the printer. What do you say? Did I repair the Q5? Yes, it is printing once again, and they did send me parts to replace it. Mike Torrey, what's up? I think this one's the better printer. We shall find out. There is a fly down here today that he's buzzing around my head, and he's going to die sooner or later because I can't take it. All right, we put 2 in the bottom. This one kind of just by getting a look at it, the enclosure on the bottom really kind of, it's like an Ender 3 with an Anycubic base. Just kind of my first gut feeling. Where's my wrench? It definitely stands out from all the other printers with that pink color. One, two, they are numbered fairly well. I like that. M4, they call them cup head screws. That's adorable. Not so thready on that one. See if this other hole is more thready. That's a technical term. You're going to need just a little bit of bite. Those are the right size, right? The gantry's kind of far back and somewhat wobbly. You could 3D print a different color. These are all metal pieces. I guess you could make them 3D print if you'd like. If you had some free time. They are all an anodized aluminum. Aluminium. Solder. I'm not making fun of other countries and how they say things. I genuinely like it. Or not even other countries, just other states. I'm very interested in how people talk, just within like 500-600 miles of me. I know I probably have somewhat of an accent from the Midwest, but Minnesotans absolutely adore them. People from Wisconsin. I love how Canadians talk, and it's not really. I'm not trying to be a jerk about anything. I just really like it. Okay, so this was our Z, and it is going to be on the left sides. Got another one of these guys. The M4 thread goes to the center of the machine. That's good to know. And the motor goes on like that. Sits in here like so. You probably can't see that. So that sets. No, the hole goes to the outside of the machine. Did I do that over there? What are those holes for? Let's figure that out. So the one on the Z Yes, goes on the outside. One of those forest through the trees kind of thing. That is the X. They even printed a pink shark. Outside Z. I just don't want to have to go back and do this over. So it looks like they're just the same for ease of use. This is really the only one that matters because it shows this one on the outside. So we should be all set. So what kind of screws do I need for that? Those are some more 16 screws. There's my 4s. I think I used all the 16 screws. I got 10s. I got 25s. I already threw that bag away. Oh. So we've already messed things up. You should read things. Hopefully we didn't screw too much up. You're supposed to put 10s in the bottom and 16 on the outside. Check out the barbecue. Well, this is Kansas City. That's not too far-fetched. I personally call it soda, Dan. My wife calls it pop. I don't know why that is. So it's a very mixed call in the Midwest, what you call it. I think a lot of people around here probably call it pop. For some reason, I have a problem with pop. Pop to me is like a sound effect. I don't know. Charlie, what's up? Nappin is here asking me if I can pop the question why. I'm not sure what that means. But we're happy to have you anyway, Nappin. Is anybody here in chat? Have you ever watched? Well, so the website is called Homestar Runner. I haven't watched it in many, many years. I don't know if they're still doing that or not. Are you familiar with Homestar Runner? Because they have this little cartoon that used to come out every week called Strong Bad. And Strong Bad is one of the funniest things that I've personally ever seen. Some people probably think it's kind of dumb, but Strong Bad answers emails from the fans, and they're hilarious. I absolutely adore Strong Bad. I should go look that up. I haven't thought about Strong Bad in a long time. And then the whole thing goes on with some more M4x8s. Trogdor, that's right. I used to have a Trogdor shirt. That's how much I love that website. So maybe it's more widespread than I thought. So I'm glad some people are aware of it. Burninating. I I work with a guy, and he'd never seen Strong Bad or Homestar Runner, so we were on night shift years and years ago, over a decade ago now. We were on night shift, and I'm like, hey, check out today's Strong Bad. And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, you got to check this out. So of course, the first thing I show him is Trogdor, the Trogdor episode. And he had some little, he's a little older than I am, and he had a couple of small children at the time. And I guess he went home and said, hey kids, check this out, it's really funny. And he played him Trogdor. And I guess his kid just looked at him and go, that's awful, he's burninating all those people. And when he came back and told me that, I just died laughing. I still find it extremely funny. He's burninating all those people. He sure is, son. He sure is. We'll just go ahead and hook up that wire while we're here. And we have a Z coupler somewhere. Yes. Trogdor has to do what Trogdor has to do. A couple of, because the whole episode, I believe, wasn't that like the how to draw episode? I think like they were trying to learn how to draw or something, and Strong Bad was doing the instruction. He's like, okay, let me show you how to draw a dragon. Some winglings here, and one of them beefy arms. Hey, he's looking pretty good. Okay, I'll stop at the Trogdor now, but I do find it very amusing. Now I know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. I'm gonna sit and watch Homestar Runner. So these motor shafts they are keyed. I would like to get as much of the coupler on there as I could. These are straight couplers. You get no flex. They are not a what's the nomenclature you're supposed to use? Damper versus coupler. They are not dampers. So there you go. There's my smart guy moment. Couplers, good. Now we assemble the X portion. This guy. And we got to put his motor on. And we're going to say the wires go down. And I need some M3x6s. Yes. Trogdor for president. I would totally stand by that. And the dragon comes in the night! I won't sing for you very often, but when it comes to the Trogdor theme, what's up, Matt Johnson? "3D Printer Nation." I don't know if I'd be a very good president. I really like to break things. It's not so much, well, I was just getting ready to say, it's not so much I like to. I kind of like breaking things, but not if it makes me endure rework. I don't like rework, but it seems like I do a lot of it. Alright, what are these big guys called here? Hex isolation column. Looks like a giant standoff in the picture. It is a giant standoff. So how may that work, manual? I need a forward picture. Aha! Which hole would said standoff like to go in? This bottom one right here. Probably ought to have a wrench for that. I don't have a wrench that small. Since it's open, I could socket it. If I knew what size it was. Just a little tweak. Look at me putting stuff away as I go. Okay, we have some wires they're talking about here. Morning, Bob. One of the podcasts uses strong head. Nice. What's the other one? I love Spanner. I always forget to use Spanner. There's another one. It's like, I think it's wrench and pliers. You're gonna have to correct me on that one. Spanners and something else. I like them both. Four-in-one terminal. So we've got kind of one of these Omni plugs, as I like to call it. So that goes on the back, and then it breaks out into pretty much everything else. What else we got back here? Filament sensor. That looks to be USB-C. I think that's the first printer officially that I've seen USB-C on. Are they just going to have me assume... Oh, no, it's over here. It is set to 115, so they got that correct. So we're good on that. And my whole assembly can go on here. Smooth. Then, so we have a filament detect, or here's Z end stop. I'm guessing that's this one because it's facing down. Then we have FDL, filament detection. Then E. Then X. Okay. Then, yep, we did that. Please check whether the interface are loose. If they are loose, please tighten eccentric nut with wrench. Okay, where's my other side? They're a little loose, not so awful bad. That one is on there really tight. This they've attached the thumb screw to hook on the X already. It makes it pretty difficult to adjust this nut. But I do appreciate that they warned you before we put it together, because that would have made it somewhat difficult. Color's pretty sweet. You should totally buy her one of these, Tom. Nice. Okay, so we were pretty close on that, actually. It feels pretty good. Did that. We're on step 8. We are flying through this. M525. Sergio. What's up, Sergio? Haven't talked to you in a little while. Hope you are well. Paul McDonald is here. What's up, Paul? Is it normal for them to get warm? Yes, it is normal for steppers to get warm. Now, how warm? I don't like to see steppers get above, 40 C or so. They can tolerate it, but you're going to start noticing a problem as they creep up. Because if you can measure them at 40, odds are the internal temperature is quite high. But it is not unusual for them to get warm. Nuno, welcome to the stream. Ooh, how can you cool them down? Well, you need to turn down the current on the stepper driver if you can. The Guinness is here. What's up? Edge of the Tech. How's it going? Lewis, how's it going? Nuno, we will be before the Kickstarter is over, and all the printers start going out. We will check that printer out here on a live stream. So stay tuned for that. We will get a chance to look at it before everybody else gets their hands on it. So we'll just see how it goes, and hopefully it's a good machine. Chaztech, what's up? Yeah, so if you want to cool your motors off, turn down your current a bit. I don't know what kind of printer you have, but that will definitely cool them off. You don't want them up that high. You could start to see skip steps and all kinds of good stuff. I would really rather not put this on until the X was on, like tighten it down. So I would rather run it up and kind of have it level itself out. Know what I mean? So I think I'll leave that loose for a moment. Where's my belt? Reruns, Techno Rat. See you later. Appreciate you stopping by. 3D Meg Vince is here. What's up? 77C or 77 Fahrenheit? That's a big difference. I would guess that was Fahrenheit, because you might be a little burny if it was Celsius. What's it trying to tell me here? It's telling me don't mess this up. That's what it's telling me. It said, we know you. We wrote these directions to tell you don't mess this up. I'm guessing it's somewhat challenging to put this on the belt on after it's on its extrusion. Maybe. So it has a couple of cutouts. These are just things you should be aware of. It has a couple of cutouts for the screw heads that are on the mounts already. There are spare holes right there. And we got T-nuts on this side. So I'm cool with that. Make sure we're not twisted. Aha, that's why they tell us. So what you're trying to do here, said the blind man, you're trying to feed this belt in underneath these wheels because it's going to have to lay inside this extrusion. So as you put it on, you kind of have to feed this belt in. I could use 3 or 4 more hands. But we have been victorious. They do have the same type of crimp connector that you see terminating a lot of these belts. And you're going to have to get this in here. But you can do it before or after you get the carriage on. It still fits. Alright. And what kind of screws we got for this? Line up our T-nuts here. Why is Hacker trying to hit port 1433? I don't think I know port 1433. Is that like a database port? Like a common database port maybe or something? Maybe somebody else in the chat might know that answer. It doesn't ring a bell as a common port to me. Well, I'm into the spare screws. Did I have 2 M4x8s left? don't think I did. There are 2 in here. There's 3 in here. No. Oh, they're talking about the ones on the T-nut. And then the M4 boat-shaped nut. That's one I've never heard before. Boat-shaped nut. Then M5 18s. That looks more like it. Awesome, Lewis. Hopefully the videos are helpful. Gusner, thanks for the props. That's coming from a man that knows his stuff. Looks purplish. Yeah, it's actually really, really pink. We'll see if we can get this camera dialed in so you can get a good look at it. It's benchy shaped. That is true. Maybe I should advise them of that. They did say they wanted these really long ones. No, they don't. I was going to say that's going to be way too long. There are definitely a lot more screw sizes in this kit than the other Ender style kits. And lots of different head sizes. I haven't had near enough coffee for printer building today. Now, I am much more comfortable with tightening these up. Let's do our X belt tensioner. Grubby Zebra, I haven't seen that name in a while. Welcome to the stream. You need barbecue. I could go for some barbecue. That sounds pretty good. So people that aren't from the Kansas City area, we have a barbecue restaurant chain. There's only like 5 of them. They're all owned by the same person. Called Gates. So if you've ever been to Kansas City, people have probably told you about Gates Barbecue. All of them are located in the city area, you know, downtown Kansas City, which is fine, except for one, and it's still a ways for me. But it is my preferred barbecue. The problem is, and I don't know what, I haven't been there since you know, our current crisis. I don't know what it is about Gates restaurants. Again, there's only like 5, but they continuously burn down. And we just lost another one like 2 days ago. So there's definitely some sort of problem there. But that's my Gates story. There's been more Gates fires in my lifetime. But they always rebuild them too. I mean, it's not like this is a insurance ploy. They always just put one right back up. Gary, thank you very much for the $10, my friend. That is much appreciated. That's right, Dave Wilson. Dave Wilson is from around here, and when you walk into a Gates restaurant, you get yelled at, and they scream at you, "Hi, may I help you?" And you take people in there that aren't from around here, they look slightly worried the first time. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Dave. The Gate scandal. Caliper fund. Gary, I appreciate that. Someday we're going to get us some really awesome calipers. Carl Brown is here. What's up, Carl? That belt could be a touch tighter, but it's pretty nice. Let's get the carriage and the lead screw and everything on there, and then we will make a final call on that. It's going pretty good, Carl. Hopefully everything is going well for you. It's Saturday. It's a long weekend here in the United States. It's Labor Day weekend. Dave's back. He's running the lasers today. Dave, the king of lasers. That'd be a pretty sweet handle, Dave. You should consider taking that on. King of all laser. If you didn't know, Printed Solid, Mr. Dave Randolph and his wonderful company, released another 6 filament colors over this last week. How many colors is that now? Somewhere around 800, pretty sure. Shouldn't probably spread that rumor. People are going to say, Chris said you had 800 colors. Is that all I get? Is 2 screws in the top of this? So it's just held on by 2 screws on the top of the carriage. So I guess those better be pretty tight. Bowden coupler. Filament spool. Psh. They even go into detail about zip ties and wire management and such. 42. Excellent. That's a great place to stop adding colors. There's some really long set screws inside that coupler. JST filament has definitely worked out for me. And it is affordable, which is much appreciated. So what's up with this C cable anyway? So this is pretty interesting, and I wonder how this is going to work out. So, hopefully you can kind of see this. So, they're considering like this extruder head, like a quick disconnect type of deal. So they give you this made up C cable. It's a USB-C cable, and it goes right here in the top. And then there's a port around the back here to mate it up. So that cable supports your hot end fan, your part fans, your heater, your thermistor, all that good stuff, your end stop. So, yeah, that happened. Huh. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess we'll find out. They do give you very specific instructions on how to zip tie it. Interesting. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I kind of see me pulling that out on accident. You know, with my super careful 3D printing practices that I do. I have a manual and everything. It's crazy. I don't know, I kind of want to zip tie that onto that Bowden tube. They gave me 3 zip ties. I'll even use their cutters. Jerry, sure, go for it. I'm guessing that was a question, Dave, on PETG. That's awesome if you're headed that direction. Okay, so that one hole in the extrusion that we were talking about is for my, they actually give you an adjustable, this is a BL touch stand, it says, so, but we don't have one of those. These are very specific nozzles as well. They look like the same thread, but they're like 10 millimeter. That is for our Z end stop, is what that hole is for. There. Of course, I put the screw on. Jerry will have Joel Telling as his guest. Okay. I think that's it. So I want to adjust the eccentric nuts on the bed and on the X carriage. I either drop the wrench on the floor or it's laying under that thing right there. That's good. I noticed that the bed wheels are completely compressed on all sides. They do mention some sort of sequence they would like you to go through. Okay. Adjustments have been made. Now, we need to figure out what's going on with this camera over here. Mingda printers. Yes, I have heard of them. I already have one in my possession. You will see it very, very soon. Very soon. Okay, what's up with this camera? So I unplugged it to use the other camera over there. This one, I think you have to do some tricky stuff to use it like we want to use it. I don't remember, honestly. I think you have to have a USB cable, maybe, to use these. What kind of cable did it? Oh, I got a full-size one. And of course it's a micro, the one I never have. You know, re-up on all my USB cables. Sometimes it's just better to throw them all away and start new. So, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Computer. What can we do without here? I don't know what half this stuff is, folks. I'm completely out of USB ports, I'm pretty sure. What we got back here? You probably can't even see me anymore. Nope, it's full. Well. I guess we're gonna have to swap with this one. Awesome. Okay. So, I am not the biggest fan of cameras and using them and such. I'm gonna kill that fly. Now, I know there's a utility that you can use for this thing. Alright, let's try to figure this out. Camera not recognized. Well, that's good. What mode of camera? No card in camera. Is that going to display that the whole time? And I'm going to have to see the screen in the camera, of course. Welcome to the live stream where Chris figures out how to use cameras. That's not going to be good. Whoa. No? Okay. So audio should be back. Sorry, I just blew your head off with whatever that might have been. Sorry about that. Good, good, good. Okay. So, you know, messing around with things still. But that's just the more time that we get to spend together. Right? It was audio, Jim, but not as we know it. I like that. This is why webcams are so much easier. Okay, I think we're getting close here. Maybe. Okay. Hopefully there wasn't anything important on that card. All right, I think we got it now. Hopefully audio still works. We need to make sure we don't have any audio on this camera. We need to allow it to focus. I definitely like the other camera better. But I guess that's why I'm using it over there. Okay, so we should be ready for this. Do we have audio twice? I don't see any other audio, so we should be okay. Okay, now we can power up. Sorry for that intervention. Welcome to Chris Riley vlogging video. Yeah, it was really not all that, great. I wouldn't have watched it, but that's just me. So let's power up. We shall take the plastic off of said screen. And turn it on. Oh, power strip went off. Okay, don't panic. Power strip is off. And we have a touchscreen. This is the Big Tree Unified setup, like they call it. So that's kind of common for them and their touchscreens. I did see like 3 different colored lights on the Hotends carriage, so that was cool. They do give you platform It just made noises. They do give you platform calibration. Can't make them work in Octofarm. Last time I checked, they worked okay. They're a little finicky to get them to populate. So let's see what we got here. Let's heat the bed up. And then let's go home. Maybe. Yes, no. 2 clicks. Guess we can put our sheet on. This thing is really thin. It didn't crash, so that's good. What else do they like you to do? So nozzle should be way above, which it is. That's good. I don't remember where disable steppers is in this menu. It's in like machine, maybe? Menu. No. Machine. Parameters. Nope. I thought sure it was in one of these menus. Watch me click around on disable steppers. It's in the custom menu. Click around on a touchscreen all day. Watch Chris do things and stuff and such. Wonder if BIQU has their own Cura version or something. Just thinking out loud. That one is way too high. We're not done yet. Much better. Think they just use Cura? Right on. Perfect. All right. They did give us USB and an adapter card. This is just an adapter. And this is just an adapter. Did we actually get a USB card of some kind? SD card? USB stick? Something? I don't think we did. Is there one in the machine already? No. So that's kind of a bummer. Let's print from USB just because I happen to have one right here. The funny part is, I don't have a place to plug it in. Hopefully our audio doesn't freak out again. Hopefully audio's still there. It is. Excellent. That's a first. I've never had the audio drop out, but it is on a USB Focusrite thing. So I guess that makes sense. Maybe. In movie news, I totally watched, and I said totally for, on purpose. I totally watched the third Bill and Ted movie. I'm just going to say this. Not Keanu's finest work. Just saying. Okay. Ready, print. Nope, print's down here. USB. It is coming up to temp. Everything looks good. We have about a minute and a half to find some filament that we can use before it starts printing. Beat the clock. The hard part's going to be finding a spool holder because I'm using all of them. How about some army green? See what else we got around here real quick. Let's try army green. I have to steal this spool holder now. Oh, it's much faster at heating than I am at getting filament. Tech Sun, I'm doing well. I hope you are doing well. This is kind of a nice color, actually. This is Prusament Army Green. Not bad. Pink Lady is in use. Miss Pink is in use on my MMU over there right at the moment, or I would grab that. That's what we did on the Patreon stream the other day. It is very vibrant, but we'll use this green to bring down the pinkness of this printer. It does not go with the printer at all. The filament, by the way, it started printing, and the filament runout sensor had no filament in it. Just saying. Let's try that again. I wish there were... Angel, thank you very much for the $4. I appreciate that. So we've been doing the Patreon streams. I wish there was a better way to get notified that they're happening. It seems like about half the people get the notice when I put out a post. And I'm not sure why. Grenade print. It does have baby stepping right here on the screen. That's cool. That's cool. So filament runout is turned off by default, says Daniel. So that would be that reason. It did have some white filament in it. It appears to be way too close to the bed because it is skipping at the moment. Don't look too bad. Probably should have wiped the sheet off just a bit. Baby stepping works. Okay. So I think we're good here. I don't know if this one will zoom in as tight as that other one does. And you can't use autofocus on this one while you're using the HD because it will put the focus box on the screen for you. Come on, man, catch up. We'll have to lower that. David Olson, awesome. Thanks for coming to the stream, David. It's good to see you. Thank you for the $20. I appreciate that. Started skipping on the second layer, and that usually makes me nervous because I'm going to switch you off of this for a second so that I can adjust this camera without making you all sick. That makes me nervous because then I think, oh, the Z-rod's not advancing. But the extruder's skipping. We'll wait for the next layer to advance so I can see what's going on. It really seems like it's not advancing the Z motor. It is when you baby step. I can feel it move. Let's wait one more layer here. Maybe I just missed it. E steps could be high. I think it's not advancing Z. Live is the best because you get to see what you actually have to go through to do these live streams, like cameras and things that are hard. Yeah, it did not turn the Z motor. Huh. I wonder if that was like impacted because of the baby stepping. Because it works. Like I say, I could sit here and baby step each layer, I guess. What? It says on the screen. It says layer 1 millimeter. Oh, it's at one. It's currently at 1 millimeter. Now it's at 0.28. Let it do the first layer again and see what it does. But I think we have an issue. The next thing that I would try, if I was the one having this issue, is moving it to the TFT card on the board instead of on the screen, just to see if there might be a serial problem. Well, that happened. All right. What was I doing before this skipping annoyed me so much that I couldn't go on? Yeah, unfortunately, that's all the zooming you will get on this one. The other one does definitely record a print better, but that's okay. So what are we doing here? Come on, first layer. Figure it out. Like I said, the baby setting works fine. I think it's a communications breakdown, like Led Zeppelin. Yeah, it didn't advance Z. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take that file I need another USB port desperately. I think this card is broken, so we don't want that card. How do you set up baby stepping in Marlin/VS Code? It is in configuration_adv.h. Just search for baby, and you will find it. And just remove the comments, and then that will allow you to use it via the menu. You can use it in two ways. You can use it as a temporary fix for each print, or you can use it as your Z offset, and that is an option inside there as well. So either tick that box. I like to use it as the offset myself. Oh, come on. Tell me I have two bad SD cards sitting here. tell me that's the case. SD cards are one of those things, I always set them aside thinking, yeah, I'll try to like get in there and F-disk that and see if there's a problem with it. And then I never do. I just need to go ahead and give up and throw them away. Come on, man. I just need one SD card that works. Yep. Yeah, it does. The Z homing works, the baby stepping works, just not during a print. It hurts to see it unwind just a little. I know exactly how you feel. It's so nice when it's just sleeping on the spool. There's nothing that's working today. How long we've been streaming? Feels like an eternity, but it's only been an hour and 40 minutes. Okay. It can see the card. Hurry. Export this file before it stops seeing the card. So, it wouldn't advance the Z from the screen via the print. So I'm going to move the file over to the SD card on the board, if it will allow me to print from that. No. Let's reset and see if it'll allow me to print from that. No. Oh, it says no printer attached. Hold on. Let's give it a moment, shall we? I'm going to kill that fly. Jesse Foreman, what's up? I use Linux quite frequently. Still says no printer attached. Oh, that's what the noise is. That when it attach, you get that noise. But there's still no option to print from that card, when there usually is. I have a feeling if we print from the screen TFT, we are going to see the same issue. I just have a feeling. But we can try it. Don't give up. We'll get it eventually. I already don't like their USB drive thingy. Then my next idea would be to not use baby stepping for adjustment. Just try to do it by the wheels. Maybe baby stepping is interrupting us. But we will find out very shortly. They need to make it default on the printers that there's some sort of camera that will show you the first layer. That's the options they should really be introducing to these things. I guess we'll find out. Go to the terminal and put in M502. You think restoring EEPROM would do it? What's up, Robert V-Line? Haven't seen you in a little while. What's the problem? When you print, it won't advance Z, but you can advance Z from baby stepping, and you can auto home just fine. We'll do that next. Okay, then we'll M502 it. But I would really love to know what's in here. Hardcode defaults loaded. And we have saved them once again. I would love to know what's in there that caused that. Angel, I don't know. I have another one of these. Let's let it do it. Well, let's see what's going on first. Seems to be at a good level. I have another one of these, but I don't think it's this thin. I don't remember it being that thin. It is not. So this is a BIQU sheet, but it is a lot thicker than that one. That one's got a lot of flex to it. But I've really never had an experience with either one. So far, this thing seems to stick to PLA. The more aggressive coated sheets, the textured sheets, don't like PLA so much. So we'll see how we get along. But so far it seems to stick. We'll see if we'll get PETG on there and see if we can wear a spot out on it. That's usually what does it. I'm trying to think of what setting would even cause that. Unless it's pre-configured for, like, there's some hard-coded stuff in there for a leveling sensor or something by default. They do give you a BL touch bracket. It advanced that time, so you're the winner. I don't know which one of you was the first one to say that, Daniel or Brian, but clapping for both of you. Nice work. So you know what that means? That means I'm still getting some clicking. Hopefully it's a fluke. That means it is coffee time. Let's let it finish one or two more layers here, and then it's break time. I don't know, Sean Butler, honestly. I believe this one runs 2208. It is fairly quiet. The fans are pretty quiet too, for having 3 of them going all the time. Now you got me paranoid. I wonder if it's fade height. I wonder if they have fade height messed up. That's going to bother me all day. But thank you for fixing that. It's coffee time. Everyone, break, and then we are professional benchy watchers. I'm back. I can read the chat, so I can see what you're talking about. But I'm chewing some food, so we'll just watch the print together for a moment. I figured you could hear me chewing, but I'll talk occasionally as well. Ken, it's good to be back. Trailblazing 5, what's up? By the way, welcome, Hardman. You're hoping for pink, though. I apologize. Pink is in use over there on the other side of the room. Did I bring enough for everyone? I did not, but I'll try harder next time. Promise. So this one didn't go as well as I'd hoped. The build was fine. They do things just a little bit differently than Creality does, which is good to see. I like these touchscreens, I do. I think they're nice. But there's something inside me that still doesn't fully trust the serial connection. I wonder if does this one have Marlin mode? No, it doesn't. That's a shame. I wonder if you can enable Marlin mode on this. That would make it like 10 times more awesome. You can toggle to the other. Well, mine's not enabled. I held the button down. Maybe you can't do that during your print, though. I bet you that'll crash the print. After the print's done, we'll go through and look at the options. Because I would love this printer 25% more if that happened. JD Cam, what's up? It won't crash? I've been holding for 10 seconds. I feel like I'm talking to AT&T. Okay, I'm on the baby stepping menu. Let's go back to the main menu. Yeah, mine doesn't go to that. I've held it for like 10, 20 seconds. So I don't know what's up with that. This fly is a dead man. That's right. Tell your friends. May not toggle during your print. Yeah, somebody was telling me that they couldn't toggle back and forth without crashing the print, but maybe it doesn't. We're definitely going to try it as soon as the print's done. I really like those modes. I think that's sweet that you can go into Marlin. We can toggle back to this view for a minute if you want. Some people like this view to hang out and do things. Others like just to watch the prints. So we'll do a little bit of both. We're going to clean up right at the moment because as soon as this one's done, I have some other stuff I need to do. It said there was supposed to be a TFT card in this kit. There was not. Just note that. Should be one more bit on this thing, I think. What is everyone else going to do this weekend? Like I said before, my US friends, this is Labor Day weekend. So you get an extra day, hopefully. I do get an extra day as long as they don't call me. So that's awesome. I throw away USB cables, the AB types, but I still save power cords for some reason. It's just a habit that I can't break. And I got an extra duck for my collection. There are two slots. Well, this one has, so it's got the onboard TFT, and then it's got the screen TFT. Neither one of those had cards in it. Which I could kind of see the onboard one, because that's probably it's probably a 32-bit board, and they're flashing firmware like that. I have a time lapse going over there. I'm hoping it's not going to run out of SD card. It's been an SD card type of day, seems like. Steven Lightspeed, what's up, Steven? How's it going? I've been trying to put these in strategic areas, but just throw it on the shelf. It'll be fine. I'll deal with it later. So now everything's all nice and tidy once again, except for the pile of garbage that I have over there. Scotty Kramer, welcome to the stream. Kramer? Cranmer. I'm glad that, so let's do the intro to 3D printing talk, because everybody needs that. That's a problem for future Chris. That guy gets everything dumped on him. Don't tell him. So welcome to 3D printing. I'm glad you decided to join us all in our crazy endeavors. To answer that question, there are only 2 diameters of filament that you really need to worry about. The most common being 1.75. And that's what you're going to use. So don't even worry about the other one, which is 2.85. They also refer to it as 3 millimeters. You're not going to find many printers nowadays that have that. The ones that you are going to find that have that size, probably not the one you want to go with. So 175 is the guy you need. Personally, I like 285. I like dealing with it. It's much easier. It's really hard to get it crossed over itself. Um, if you're set up to do so, it works just as good as anything else. But you don't see that very often. One of us. I have a house full. I have a house full to deal with it later as well. So I'm glad we're together on that one. Like beta versus VHS. What was it? It was Blu-ray and HD DVD. Wasn't that what it was called? Blu-ray was Sony. I don't remember who did HD DVD. Well, I have more videos on the Prusa Mini. I haven't planned on it. What kind of video would you like to see on the Prusa Mini? Maybe Toshiba. There you go. Maybe maybe if they come out with like a bunch of firmware updates or something, I'll revisit it and we'll look at the new features. We could do something like that. What do I think about maker-based boards? I'm kind of mixed on maker-based boards. So maker-based came in at kind of a time where we were just getting out of the ramps phase. Well, not just getting out of it, but we were starting to branch out a little more. And MKS came out. I don't remember what year, but they came out as we were just starting to try to get off of the ramps style. So it's pretty much they started in just a ramps layout that was a little more convenient to use. Same thing, just spread out a little bit. Then they started to get you away from like that LCD connector, make it a little more handy to use. The only problem with maker-based stuff is it's closed source. As far as I know, it's still that way. Like their hardware. So that's kind of it seems to work okay, but Big Tree Tech and some of the other board manufacturers have kind of changed that landscape a lot. So I do work with the maker-based people a little bit here and there. They are currently going to send me some of their newer stuff to check out. I've had a few run-ins with the Robin board, things like that. So I don't know what their current state is, but they've just been kind of so-so over the years for me personally. Clipper on a Prusa Mini. Now there's an idea. Are mods to the Ender 3 compatible with this? Well, it depends what mod. I see exactly what you said. Same look. So some of the mods are going to be compatible. I mean, you could probably make most of them work, but like the hot end mount points are going to be different. It just depends on the mod, I guess. I mean, you can definitely make the extruder mods for the Ender 3 work on this. So it's going to depend. Yeah, Prusa Mini mods, maybe. I kind of did want to put a handle on it. Does that count as a mod? Big Tree Tech is here. Hello, Big Tree Tech. I don't think they've ever had a representative at one of my streams, but welcome. Scott, I have not played with it yet, but it is on my list of things to do. I'm very interested in to see how that's going to go. So that's on the list. Oh, Gary, when will you see the review for the new larger screens from Big Tree Tech? I'm just going to say this. Very soon. Is the dual geared extruder compatible? That I do not know. The Gen L is the quietest board you have right now. Right on. Can we see more on the MMU2 on Marlin? Yes, you will. I have a couple of things MMU2 coming up, and you will see it go back to Marlin one more time. John Strand, exactly like the Ender 2 handle. Digging the Copperhead? The Copperhead is still something that I need to further test. I really need to get after that. Gary, I have to just, before the video comes out, I will just say this. They're a lot of fun. They really are. So, and you'll see that I kind of had a good time making that video because they're a lot of fun to use. So. Brian, the 3D print creator, is here. Welcome, Brian. Thanks for trying to follow along on the stream. I haven't talked to you in a little while. Ken, definitely. I think it's an awesome Hotends setup. I just have to get some more experience with it. Wish it came in boys' colors. There's nothing wrong with pink. It's a nice pink. Lewis, that's a really pointed question, and I appreciate you asking me that on a Big Tree Tech BIQU printer stream. And Big Tree Tech is in the chat. I'm always going to answer you 100% honest. I don't think the Ender 3 V2 is the Ender to rule them all. I think there are better choices out there, and you will see that very soon on the channel. Mark III clone with the SKR-1.4 turbo. Awesome. So let's talk about, for a moment, we're on pink, let's talk about an issue that I'm having. You've probably seen the issue. If you follow me on Twitter, I have tweeted that issue out. And there are more than one issue on this print. There is some Z wobble, which I'm trying to get rid of. But there's also vertical artifacting. And I have fought vertical artifacting before. And it comes out of certain stepper drivers. You can hide it with, like, if there's a little extra slop in your printer, sometimes you can get away from it. But if you're shooting really precision and your printer's nice and tight, some drivers, given certain motors, will give you vertical artifacting. And that's what I'm achieving. Now, I have never personally seen it on a 2660 driver before. I've used Duet boards on, the Duet Wi-Fi 2 comes default with two 2660s. I've never seen it on that Duet board setup, and I have 3 or 4 of those setups. Until now. The only thing I could come up with is that I've never noticed it before, but because all of the setups that I have are Core XY, and the X and Y, or E and B, whatever you want to call them, are 0.9 degrees steppers, so they're more granular than the 1/8. This new setup has 1/8 on it. That's the only difference that I could come up with that might be causing this. Now, the Jatman says, and I believe the Jatman, he's got a lot of experience, he said he runs that Duet setup 1/8 and he's never seen it that bad. Warkaki had some ideas. He was kind of thinking like the same stuff I was, but you know, that's my wheelhouse. I know that stuff to check out. This is definitely electrical type noise, but have a look at it. It is definitely vertical artifacting. Focus. There you go. Check that out. Now see, up in here you can see the Z wobble. But if you look down on the bottom, it looks like Velcro or something. I wish that would focus just a little bit better. Try that. Check that out. I don't think it's motion noise. I really don't. And you can kind of the tell of that is that vertical that it's on. You can definitely tell there's banding, so there's more than one issue. But that just screams vertical artifact. And I've never seen it on one of these setups. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I haven't invested a ton of time in troubleshooting, but I figured we might as well talk about it while we're on this stream. You think its resonance really that bad? What's up, Tristan? Too many characters, yes. That's a Windows limitation, Angel. Yeah, well, I think it's 168 or something like that. That is a limitation, and you have to get smaller than that, or you're going to see it. Tristan, what hardware setup are you talking about? Waiting for BL Touch edits. BL Touch on the V2. The V2 is going to be really, really similar to the BL Touch video that I did with all the other SKR boards. There's nothing changed. I mean, the pin location might be a little different, but you're gonna be able to achieve the same results. So check out the BL Touch video and let me know if that helps. Throw a core on the cable? I have not, but that's not a bad suggestion. Tease us with pink. Vibration? It could be. You have the same on your delta at one spot. It's a stationary bed. And that's why resonance is kind of, I don't know, it's throwing me a bit. And I think there's multiple issues happening, not just Z and some VAT, or vertical artifacting, whatever you want to call it. There might be one more in there, but it's a stationary bed. So the Core XY setup is an exoslide cube. So exocube, if you look that up, that'll show you kind of what I did. Mine's just a little bit different. I put a few spins here and there. But it's Core XY setup where the bed stays stationary and the Core XY carriage slides upward. I don't think the vibration would be that consistent. I really don't. Because I mean, these have varying speeds, the different parts that you go to. So the flow rate and the speed is going to change. And I know in that same sidewall that there are different rates of speed as it does infill and all that good stuff. They're so consistent. That's why the resonance really is throwing me. Well, there is lead screw binding. That's a second. That is also an issue. Yes, there are 4 Z motors on that machine. But it's audible. John, that's a great suggestion. I have been through the whole spectrum of voltages. I've been down to around 550, where I was occasionally getting a skip, all the way up to 1,000. It doesn't appear to change anything. I also wish resin printing wasn't such a pain. That's why I never do it. Michael, thanks for the kind words. I appreciate that. I am never going to lie. If it's bad, it's bad. I'm not going to tell you to buy something just to buy it. And that is 1/4 inch mix 6 aluminum on that bed. Rod motion versus wheel motion. I'm not sure what that means. If you can elaborate. Let me just get you a link so you can see what kind of like what I'm dealing with. I can't get the printer up on the table, or I would show you all. So here's the link. This is somewhat close to what I'm dealing with. It is a Humera extruder. See you later, Thomas. Thanks for joining us. Brass standoffs, awesome. I'm glad that's working. I think that's a pretty good solution. John, that's my next go-to. So the stepper motors are somewhat questionable on that printer. I just kind of dug them all out of my extra bin. I'm gonna see if I can find a couple of moon steppers or something and swap out X and Y to see if that makes any difference. This is going to be an interesting set of troubleshooting steps just to see what makes it better. So I'm going to try to make some content around it just to show you what happened. People say if you go to a 0.9, it'll just go away. But I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of want to see the 1.8 work. So we'll see what I can find in the way of new motors. We're definitely going to try that out. What are my views on it so far? So we had a little bit of trouble. That M502 issue that fixed the Z advancing really bothers me. It seems to print pretty nice. The print looks good. It's nice and quiet. It's pretty easy to put together. The touchscreen is functional. It's the standard Big Tree Tech offering, the unified touchscreen. I really don't have any complaints other than that initial hiccup with the Z Advance. Everything else seems to be pretty good. Yeah. Honestly, I've had some experience, with this very setup in a Core XY. Of course, the motion system is going to be a little bit different, but I'm kind of struggling. And I was thinking the same thing. Maybe the motors are just garbage. Maybe, and here's another thing too. I custom made all the cables. So, and putting in those JSTPH and the Molex connector pins, I am not the best at that. So maybe I just have one pin that's a little flaky, or a couple pins that are a little flaky. So maybe I should go through and test resistance on all those wires down the whole chain, just to see if there's one a little light. That could be a problem. I mean, maybe the stator is just having enough of an issue. I wish there was a better place to buy pre-made links of motor cables. You can just find the generic ones like on eBay and stuff, but I wish there was a place that said, "Oh yeah, these are great cables." The best way to go for me is to have LDO put them on when they build your motor, but that's kind of a custom setup. Yeah, if I figure it out, there will be a video. I wish I had an oscilloscope. You had a problem on your second. See, I haven't had that problem on that printer. Riprap on SKR1314, that is coming. That is a video that I'm going to do. It was a faulty bearing. Okay. I can go check all that stuff again. Big Tree Tech, you are welcome. All is well. I would really like to talk with someone at Big Tree Tech about... So, when we started the print, so baby stepping worked fine. Homing worked fine, and it would advance the Z. Everything was good, but when I started a print, it would not advance the Z. The guys on here had seen it before, and they told me to run an M502 to bring in the stored defaults from EEPROM, from the firmware into EEPROM. Then I saved it in EEPROM, and then it started working. I would love to know why that is the case and why that's the fix. So if we can talk on Twitter or email back and forth, I would love to know. But everything else seems to be going good. We were already talking about the BX. I did work with somebody via Twitter, and hopefully there will be a BX over here that we can check out. I think we've already got that figured out. The pink's starting to grow on you. Awesome. I'm losing track. I would love to be able to see the actual output. I wonder how cheap I could get an O-scope. Excellent. Thank you. Enough power for all the motors? That's not a bad thought. It is a 24-volt supply. It's not a Meanwell supply. Not a bad thought. No bed sensor or ABL on this one, Gary. There you go, pre-made cables. Good idea, John. All over it. I'll start testing cables and see if I can come up with what's going on. That would be awesome. DIY oscilloscope on Amazon, pretty cheap. Cool. Maybe that would be a good project. Robot Hut is here. What is up? 350, 400, not too bad. Dope. Sergio just throwing an oscilloscope away. Magnus is here. What's up? I have an MMU2 print going over there that says it's going to take 45 hours. I don't know what hour I'm on, but it's been running. I guess it's probably been running about, what time is it? 16 hours or so far. Yes, people do always mention my spool holder. So I usually use a lot of those 3D printed spool holders. I only have 5 or 6 of them, and all of them are on the MMU2 at the moment. This one, James Cameron over at Printed Play designed. This is this the big one or the small one? I downsized one. This is the big one. This is designed for a 5-pound spool. And it was like the first design that I came to on Thingiverse, and I just happened to know James. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to print this one out. It prints all in one piece, and it works pretty well. I did scale one down to like 50%, and it works really good on 1 kg spools. So that if you search 5-pound spool holder, that's James' spool, and it will come up. So that's the story on that one. Yeah, Sergio, I wouldn't guess just everybody would want an oscilloscope. Brian, the one I'm talking about, the issue is it has 7 stepper connections total. It's got 4 Z motors, an X and a Y, and an extruder. It does have the DoX breakout board. Every MMU print takes 45 hours. Mini wave. Okay, cool. Absolutely, Tim Wood. I've used them before, but not in a long time, like high school. Long time. I need a crash course. Jesse Foreman, I saw you ask that before, and I didn't address it. That's a great question. I don't know if you can get that breakout from them directly. Maybe you can. I will Google that. We'll be open sourcing soon. There you go. Great to hear. So this will be open source. Might have to just break down and buy one. Amazon's got them for $350. Ooh, it looks nice. Then I have to find a place to put it. But it might be real handy sometimes. Brian, nice to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. Need it for your FT5. Yeah, to replace those RJ45s. Hardened steel or tungsten for your nozzles? I don't have a lot of experience with tungsten, so I really can't say. The steel ones, the only problem with the steel is they rust. They're okay. I don't use them a lot. I use them on the tool changer because of all of the cleaning and things, but I actually switched to silicone brush, so that really doesn't matter so much anymore. You mean the cable for the steppers? It could be 4 wires or 5 wires. 5-wire setups. Brian, honestly, I've never heard of that. They're all 4-wire stepper motor wires. I have not gone that far yet, Tom, and that's a great idea. I have not checked to see how true they are. And again, I kind of pulled some of this stuff out of the garbage. Well, not the garbage, but out of the pile I was going to use later. Out of the hoard pile. So, I'll check that. Didn't get a link. I don't think they tried to post one. I didn't see it come across. They said they were getting ready to open source it, so it might not be there yet. Thought it come unstuck there for a second. Phew. Yeah, anytime. Jesse, I'm sure I have your info somewhere. If I get any word on that before it's known, I will let you know. Get some LDO gates, please. Yeah, I wonder if I have any. That's like tomorrow morning's project, I think. We're going to continue working on that thing. I am using single start TR 8x2 screws at 1600. Belin, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching my content. I missed a few subscribers as well. Will Joe, thank you. Frank, Aaron, thanks for the subs. Appreciate it. I wish I had two areas. You always want more space, and I've got a lot of space. I am blessed with a basement, but it would be really nice if you could okay, the printer's printing, and then we could switch over here and look at the problem on this other printer that I'm talking about. I would love to be able to set that up. I would like to be able to get rid of all the shelves, put them somewhere else, and then maybe because I got about 2 feet to the wall, maybe put in a roller cabinet or something over here that we could actually work on things. I don't know if that's ever going to get done, but I'd like to. You probably can't see it. It's right here. This is a sticker of a cat throwing up rainbows. And if you are a Patreon of Dasmia, I don't think she's doing it any longer, I'm afraid. But if you joined her before a certain time, you got one of these awesome cat stickers. And it came in a 3D printed envelope. So that's one of my favorite. No offense to anyone else's sticker that's on this wall, but that's one of my favorite stickers I've ever received. And she makes a lot of really cool stuff. So thank you, Mia. Clean out the drum room. That is probably, it's currently the box to ship things in room. So that's probably a good idea. Stackable shelves, roller table in the middle. That'd be nice. There's all kinds of things we could do. I definitely need a clean out. I need to throw a bunch of stuff away. Just get things cleaned up. Yeah. 29 extra spaces. Surrounded by Prussian machines everywhere. Right on. I'm glad you like the videos. Fernando, hello. Wayne, I don't have that pie screen yet. I would like to take a look at one. I am planning on doing some more content on those pie touch screens. I don't have that one yet, but I probably should acquire one and check it out. It's searing my eyes. Welcome to the stream, John. Just print more space. That's a great idea. Throw a couple of printers away at your house. Yes, I could do that. You do work there, so yeah. Well, thank you for joining the stream. What is my favorite printer? Always a tough question. I have two areas of answer on that. What is my favorite printer? And it changes from week to week sometimes. And then, what is my favorite printer to use? My favorite printer is Log, the Prusa clone made out of wood. You can't see it very well, but it's over here. It's tried and true. It does kind of work sometimes, but we've been through a lot together, so that's my favorite printer. What's my favorite printer to use? Anything that's really easy to use, and I don't have to mess with it much. Because when I go to print something, it's probably to work on a project for a video, or I need a part for the house, or something like that. I don't want to have to mess with it. And I have a few Prusa printers, so if I need to knock things out real fast, I will send them to the Prusas, knock them out, and not have to worry about a thing. Once you've got your Z offset, all that stuff set in, you don't have to mess with it, and you just print. And so Prusas are still my go-to. I haven't found anything more consistent at that price range, or any price range, honestly, than those. See if Ray has some space in his barn. Ray's one of the few guys I know that has more stuff than me. The law. $3D printed brick basement. I do love the Mini, but for different reasons. The Mini's a character. The Loveslot Mini. It's a very unique little machine. It has a place, but not one of my favorite printers. Maybe like top 10. The Mini's going to be in there. The poor little Mini. Ricardo, thank you for the sub. Jerry, I have done resin printing a few times. I just don't enjoy it. It's too big of a pain. So I don't think I will, unless they come up with something super awesome that does the work for you. I don't think I will ever get into resin. Not at least not until I have some place to do it, like with a sink and stuff close by. It does not interest me. Dig more underground space. You know how cool it would be if I had a sub basement? That'd be awesome. Oh no, the benchy came loose. Well, shoot. So, maybe our texture sheet is not as awesome as it could be. The print was looking pretty good, too. Let's just see how close to 60 that sheet gets. It had some smush on it. A lot of the, honestly though, in all fairness, a lot of the other textured sheets, I don't have so much luck with PLA. So it's not uncommon. It's kind of dead on. You probably can't see that. It's kind of dead on 60C. So it's not a heat problem. We need a smooth PEI sheet for this. These are just a little bit smaller. See how thin that one is? That one versus that one. I don't know. So the bed adhesion didn't pan out. I would tell you you could use your Prusa sheet, but you got about 20 more millimeter on that one. So at least we can look at what we came up with. It doesn't look bad. This manual focus is kind of for the birds. So our first layer didn't, I mean, you can see how much smush we had on that and that texture. So I don't think I would risk smushing it anymore to get more adhesion, honestly. Maybe a little bit more heat would have made it happen, but again, not a lot of luck with PLA on those textured sheets. First couple layers didn't come out super awesome. We did have to kind of baby step it to get it just right. Speaking of vertical artifacting, there's a little bit in there. Right there. But not terrible. I mean, it looks fine. Top surfaces look okay. They drag just a bit. That might have been our demise. Just not a very sticky sheet. Bummer. I hate it when we don't get a full benchy. So now what are we going to do for the rest of the day? Glass and Aquanet, that'll definitely do it. Clean glass. The thickness? There isn't much thickness. You want to have a steel plate off here? So the one that comes on this machine is a 0.42. The BIQU one I got from BIQU is a 0.92. The powder-coated sheet from Prusa is a 0.68. The powder-coated sheet from Printed Solid is a 1.06. It's definitely winning in the thickness. What else we got? The Kinging sheet that you can get off of Amazon is a 0.50. Anything else? I'm guessing the mini sheet is the same thickness. That's the mini sheet. This is the smooth sheet. It's a 1.2, but it's got 2 sheets of PEI on it, so it's going to be a little thicker. How thick is a Wham Bam sheet? Wham Bam sheet is 0.65. So there you go. There's all the sheets I have. Try with the printed solid sheet. I would, but it's too big. I'd have to have a smaller one. They grip on PLA much better. Caliper calibrated. Okay, yeah, PEI for the win. I agree, 100%. Switch to Marlin mode. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. Oh, and it's white. This printer just got 25 awesome points. I really need to get some fingerprints off of that. But excellent. Excellent. So that I like to see. I don't have a Vicetech steel sheet. It'll fit. Turn it sideways. Original BuildTech flex plate for life. I don't have one of those either. Well, I guess that's where we're going to end it today, folks. I hate it that we didn't get the full benchy. That kind of cuts our time short, but we did do a lot of messing around with cameras and such. How long did we go today? We went right at 3 hours, so that's a pretty good stream. Yeah. Thanks for everybody that hung out with me today. Thanks for checking out this printer. I will post some other pictures for prints when I have them off of this machine. You will see a review and more than likely a comparison on this one and some other machines that I have. So we'll do that. Thank you for everybody that did the tips, the super chats, whatnot. That really helps out, especially nowadays. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. We will be doing a couple more of these streams really, really soon. So even though some of the printers we talked about today, they're coming up quick. So stay tuned for that. I will see you again very, very soon. Everyone have a good day and hopefully a long weekend.